evening, after thinking it over for some time, Harold decided to go for a walk in the moonlight. There wasn't any moon, and Harold needed a moon for a walk in the moonlight, and he needed something to walk on. He made a long, straight path so he wouldn't get lost, and he set off on his walk, taking his big purple crayon with him. But he didn't seem to be getting anywhere on the long, straight path. So he left the path for a shortcut across a field, and the moon went with him. The shortcut led right to where Harold thought a forest ought to be. He didn't want to get lost in the woods, so he made a very small forest with just one tree in it. It turned out to be an apple tree. The apples would be very tasty, Harold thought, when they got red. So he put a frightening dragon under the tree to guard the apples. It was a terribly frightening dragon. It even frightened Harold. He backed away. His hand holding the purple crayon shook. Suddenly he realized what was happening, but by then Harold was over his head in an ocean. What do you think he's going to draw next? Is he going to get out of the water? He came up thinking fast, and in no time he was climbing aboard a trim little boat. He quickly set sail, and the moon sailed along with him. Where do you think they're going to sail to? After he had sailed long enough, Harold made land without much trouble. He stepped ashore on the beach, wondering where he was. The sandy beach reminded Harold of a picnic, and the thought of picnics made him hungry, so he laid out a nice, simple picnic lunch. There was nothing but pie, but there were all 9 kinds of pie that Harold liked best. What's your favorite kind of pie? When Harold finished his picnic, there was quite a lot left. He hated to see so much delicious pie go to waste. So Harold left a very hungry moose and a deserving porcupine to finish it up, and off he went, looking for a hill to climb to see where he was. What do you think Harold's going to draw next with his purple crayon? Harold knew that the higher he went, the farther he could see, so he decided to make the hill into a mountain. If he went high enough, he thought, he could see the window of his bedroom. He was tired, and he felt he ought to be getting to bed. He hoped he could see his bedroom window from the top of the mountain. But as he looked down over the other side, he slipped, and there wasn't any other side of the mountain. He was falling in thin air. How do you think he's gonna help himself? What do you think he's gonna do? But luckily, he kept his wits and his purple crayon. He made a balloon and he grabbed onto it. And he made a basket under the balloon, big enough to stand in. He had a fine view from the balloon, but he couldn't see his window. He couldn't even see a house. He made a house with windows, and he landed the balloon on the grass in the front yard. None of the windows was his window. He tried to think where his window ought to be. He made some more windows. He made a big building full of windows. He made lots of buildings full of windows. He made a whole city full of windows. That is a lot of windows. Can you count how many there are? But none of the windows was his window. He couldn't think of where it might be. He decided to ask a policeman. The policeman pointed the way Harold was going anyway, but Harold thanked him. And he walked along with the moon, wishing he was in his room and in bed. Then suddenly Harold remembered. What do you think Harold remembered? Do you know what he's going to draw next? He remembered where his bedroom window was when there was a moon. It was always right around the moon. So it looks like Harold is drawing his window. And then Harold made his bed. He got in it and he drew up the covers. The purple crayon dropped on the floor and Harold dropped off to sleep. So what did you all think about our book today, Harold and the Purple Crayon? That was a really fun book. So Harold drew a lot of pictures with his purple crayon. And all of those pictures were made out of a line. Good job, everybody. So we're going to talk about lines today. And lines can go in all sorts of directions. What direction do you think this line is going in? Straight up and down. That's a good answer. That is called a vertical line. Can you say vertical with me? Vertical. Good job. So now let's look at this line. What direction do you think that line is going in? It's laying down, you're right. Okay, so that's called a horizontal line. Let's say that together. Horizontal. One more direction we're going to talk about. What direction do you think that line is going in? This is kind of a tricky line, but I know you can do it. That's a diagonal line. Good job. So let's say diagonal together. Diagonal. Good job, everybody. Okay, so now I need your help making lines. Let's everybody stand up. Okay. All right, so now we're standing up, just like this line. Can you remember what that's called? That's called our vertical line. Good job, everybody. Okay, now this one. We're going to have to get on the floor for this one. All right. Okay. What kind of a line is this, everybody? Horizontal. Yay! We have our horizontal line. Let's do one more with our body. Do you remember what this one is called? We're going to do that with our body now. Okay. Lean to the side. We have a diagonal line. Good job, everybody. So you just made lines with your body, just like Harold made lines with this purple crayon. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use our finger to draw lines in the air. So everybody get your finger out, get it ready. Sharpen the tip. Are you ready? Is your finger all sharpened? Okay, so let's draw our vertical line. Straight up and down. Let's do that again. Top to bottom, all the way down. And then you can go from the bottom to the top, all the way up. Good job, that's your vertical line. Let's do our horizontal. Do you remember which one is the horizontal one? Yes, the one that is laying down. So you got your finger? Okay, let's make it all the way across our body. You can go the other direction too. That's your horizontal line. Good job, everybody. And our last one, remember? That's the tricky one. That's our diagonal line. So let's start way up over here off to the side. And we'll come down in a diagonal line. And then we can go all the way back up. Good job, you guys. You just drew lines in the air. That was really fun.